Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Before I discuss making a student persona, please do subscribe to my channel for any future updates. I have been thinking about this for quite some time and what I have set up for today is each of the 4 areas of inquiry. Now these are by no means exhaustive. They just represent what I think are some of the essentials that categorize each of the AOIs. So firstly, area of inquiry 1, I've got a group there, folk songs, protest songs, celebratory music, spirituals, etc. Now the area of inquiry 1, of course, is music that focuses on expression and communicates social and cultural messages, conveys political ideas, and helps to preserve social and cultural traditions. And then I've just given a few examples there. The second is music for listening and performance. Sometimes it's referred to as absolute music, but I don't think that always holds true. Generally speaking, it's music that expresses and communicates intrinsic aesthetic values. And I've got a range there from pop rock, jazz music to minimalism, expressionism, choral music, and even keyboard music, and then some of the well-known composers associated with those particular genres. Moving to area inquiry 3, here I have some examples: incidental music, film music, dance music, opera, etc. Area of inquiry 3 relates to music for dramatic impact, movement, and entertainment. And that last one there, music for visual arts, poetry. In some cultures, you do have accompanying music to poetry readings and storytelling. So I thought that was important to include that. And finally, for area of inquiry 4, I have arranged there. All of these are, of course, related to electronic music, music technology in the digital age. And I've got a range there from electronic dance music, hip-hop, music concrete, and ambient music, and even AI-generated music. Okay, so as I said at the start, these various genres and styles are not necessarily the only categories, and of course there is quite a bit of overlap between those areas of inquiry as well. So what I asked my students to do is to assign a point value for either how familiar they are with each of those genres and how they see those various genres within their community or within their region or even their personal background. And I asked them to assign 3 points if they felt that that music was something that they listened to regularly, had some kind of personal significance, and they were most familiar with it, down to the other end of the spectrum, music that can be considered to be global to them, that is unfamiliar, they've never connected with that music, they've never engaged with it. It may well be in some distant land, but also could be in closer proximity. And then in the center there, I've decided to divide the local into 2 variations. So those with some familiarity and then fleeting familiarity. So it's still along this spectrum, if you will, of familiarity, but also geographical significance or cultural significance for that student. So here is an example of that work. So a student here has assigned themselves a number of points here. If we just take the first one there from Area of Inquiry 1, local or international folk songs, the student has given themselves a single point, which means that they are aware that these sort of things are going on in their community. They may have heard some of these folk songs, but only have a fleeting familiarity with this music. So going down the list there, you'll see that if we jump to Area of Inquiry 2, the student has given themselves a full 3 points for rock music, as well as jazz music and marching concert band. This particular student is a member of the school concert band. So you'll see the totals for each, and you'll see at the bottom there that Area of Inquiry 4, the student has only given themselves 10 points for familiarity with that particular area of inquiry. I've done some statistics here for this particular student and come up with percentages. So you'll see that the largest area there is 38% coming from Area of Inquiry 2. And then moving across here, you can see that I have assigned a particular proportion for each of those areas of inquiry with the sides of the square for Area of Inquiry 2 up to 6.16 centimeters. And rather easily, you can create, or students can create, their own persona showing how they see themselves within the 4 areas of inquiry. There is another video on how to set up that the 4 quadrants there, but I think this is actually a very interesting way of seeing the students and how they see themselves, but also important information for you as an educator. Once you have collected all this data, you can actually make something for the entire class and see where the various strengths, if you will, areas that are not so familiar, where they lie. And it might be a good idea to try this exercise again at the end of the first year of the DP and do some comparisons on how this information has changed. So I think it's a very important start to the beginning of the diploma, getting a sense of that student persona and important information as you map out your course. Thank you all very much for your attention, and I hope that this has been instructive.